Okay. All right. Good morning. We are starting Simon Kuf Nun Beis. Ovi Kochavim. Oisa Mishta Lechupas Beno Bito, a non-Jew who is making a wedding for his son or daughter. Also, the Yisrael Lechol Sham. It's also for someone Jewish to eat there. I feel Ochel Mishalo. Even he's very firm. No, of course, Chas v'Shalom. He's not going to He eats kosher. It's still usher. The reason is the pasuk says, it says that the achalta mitzivcho is also to go ahead and eat from his. Some learn that zivcho means takrevis, but the Gemara also darshans it to mean that his own food, his own from a simcha. Says even if you're eating, the point is that karalo is that he invites him. Right? We'll see. If he's invited and he eats by the Suda, is a problem. Could be shayv and shayv.
He can go.
He can eat.
It's like the previous sin where they're digging sameach.
So that's a shayla. That's the machokas. That's the Achronim asked that. Pashut is he shouldn't even go. But let's see. When Amosai Aser, when does it become Aser to Mishtatif? When is it called a zimun? An invitation. Mishiyaschir lahachin tzarchei suda. When they start, setting up the tzarchei suda. La'achar yemei mishte la'mayon. Now, in the 30 days after. V'mayir shebazminai b'shvil chuppah. So just come for the. He's come for the wedding, come for the ceremony. Aser adu beis chodesh. It's aser for 12 months. But afterwards, it is. It would be permitted.
What's this time afterwards?
I guess.
It's not 100% clear what the Adu beis chodesh is.
It has the food from the wedding for that long?
Well, no, I don't. I mean, I get. It says in the Ksubas, it says that's how long it takes him to prepare for. It gives him a year to prepare for the chasna. But here, Elim Kehu Adam Chashuv. If he wants him to come, if he wants him to actually come to the ceremony and stuff, and to the whole wedding, not just as mishte lechupas, but no, it means he's making a party, a celebration, lechavod. But here he's inviting to the actual wedding. So until 12 months, it's going to be considered like also that idea of inviting him to the chuppah. He can't go. But if it didn't take place,
this isn't like inviting someone to the chuppah but not to the suda. This is inviting to the chuppah
and the suda. Right. Elohim Kain who Adam Choshev. Unless he is an Adam Choshev, then it's also for him even after Yubei's Chodesh.
So what happened here?
Yeah. Okay. So the thing, what's going on is the way the Taz is masvir, and Taz tries to explain everything here. He says the Iker Pirush Shalotei Achilas Yisrael Bazeh Ayadei Hazmanas of the Kachovim. That was masvin as Echad Miyazmina Lebeisai. Let's see Sif Beis, we'll explain everything together. If the one who's making the wedding, he sends them chickens and fish, sends them kosher food, it's mutter. The problem, the issue is not that he's eating from his food, it's the kir of das. He's inviting him to the wedding and he's sitting and eating. That's the Yisr. But even if you invited him and sent it to his house, it's not that it's an Yisr Chal on the food. It's on the matzav of going to going and eating. The Taz says, but if if he sends a whole group of people to have a party by the Jew's house, it's his business partner, whatever it is, it's also usher. The point is, he shouldn't be at the partying. If he's just coming for the ceremony to say congratulations, I don't know if it's usher to walk in. The point is sitting down and being part of the wedding.
Do you have a glass of water?
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if that's not called chila anyway. And the point is sitting down. The point is, if they have chalons at a bar, I don't know, or I don't know. But no, that's really the point over here. The Adam Choshev is Taz means is machlokes over here. If he says that the pshat of Adam Choshev is that, or it means anyone, if he shows up even after 12 months, he invited him like a year and a half before, then he shows up and he's going to be happy about it, that's also a problem. One pshat is that of course, he's it's a midas chasidus, he shouldn't go, but the Taz says, even if he's not a Talmud Chacham or a Rav or something, if it's anyone who, in the non-Jew's eyes, is chashuv, and he shouldn't show up. He shouldn't show up because it gives him. He's the extra simcha he gives to the father of the bride, whatever is means he's mishtatif, and he shouldn't show up. The Taz asks, well, what's the difference between that and what he's mentioned before, that he could be samech by the chag, he can be samech imayim, it's chanifa. He says, the Drisha says it's mistapek. The Taz says, I don't understand what the suffix is. It's pashut that this is going to be also, because he says that Yisod over here. The whole point of this whole pasuk, it's clear. The time of the crowd says straight is he shouldn't mix, assimilate and mix with the goyim, right? So if you're going to sit down sit down and celebrate with them, that's a problem. That's not mater Ava. Forget the whole pasuk is telling you Ava. Don't get involved with them. It doesn't make a difference if they're insulted. You can't. It's better that they're a little bit insulted to separate. That's what he says. The Ava is okay in this situation. He says the lo matzino is important. Lo matzino heter mishum Ava. Ava is only mutter elahecha mitzvah mishum davar acher. You could go. The mishum iser elil. The Isser is not, being mitzariv with them. So then you have to be choshesh Eva, it's a very problem. But if the point is to go ahead and not, the whole point is not to be mitzariv. The whole point is to create a little bit of Eva. So then Eva, how are you going to matter it? That's what the Taz says. Right, so that's the basic gist of this simon. It's a little bit confusing, but that's basically it. Obviously, listen. Nowadays, I don't know. Again, that person he has to come up, so you say congratulations, but he has to find an excuse not to go for the whole thing. To celebrate with him it could be it's a shayla of even daraisa.
And if you get an invitation to the whole wedding, then for the next 12 months, you have this problem.
Yeah. Listen, in the secular world, they plan these things out for like a year, 2 years. Like these things go on.
But this isn't a year in advance; it's a year after.
Year after. And if not, I understood it's from the time of the hasmana, the time.
In what?
I thought I understood it's from the time of the. Now, Zmana, I'll take a look. It's let me explain. I'll look it up in the Gemara. It says I thought it says a little clear what was the exact case.
So he's invited him 6 months before the wedding. Then he goes to 6 months after the wedding.
It could be I don't know if he shows up a year after the wedding, like, and people remember. I don't know. Maybe it was different back then. I didn't think like that. I thought the pshat is if he invited him, he invited him. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's afterwards. And Aruch Choshev, if he comes, he's gonna be modeh to his. I don't know. I'll try to be mevar b'li on that nakuda. Fine. Kufnum Gimel. Ain't ma'amidin behema between the coast of the kochavim. You shouldn't stable your animals in the stables, in the inns or whatever of goyim of the kochavim. Ain't moisrim behema leroy shelahem neishem chshudim ala ravia, because they're we're choshed them on revia, on bestiality. Nowadays, basically, makim, there are laws against such things, then it's mutter.
That are enforced.
Right. Okay. You're right. But even if even there's on the law books, and there is a law. If there'd be a problem. I don't know. Then yeah, there could be. I don't know. I don't know. But Pashas, you could. I don't think you have to be choshesh. Pashas nowadays you have to be choshesh for this anymore.
New York City parks, guys who can.
I don't know.
Stuff.
The feeling of Metzius. I mean, yeah. Nowadays the morality has gone. Is tanked. So I can't really don't know. With the Taz, the Shaila is, we have the Shaila here. Can you eat an animal which has been done, an avera has been done to? The Taz says he brings who is he bringing? He brings someone that says it's also, but he says try and shoot him. He holds that it's only brought in the Gemara that's either by that Shuraniskal or by something which is Nevad, which was for not Nevad, which was for the Beis Hamikdash, for the Korbanos. But he says that the Pashas there's no problem. Other Achronim say, however, if it's something which is going to be a Chil Hashem, if this animal, like everyone knows, something happened to it, and why are the Jews eating? It's disgusting. They shouldn't be, they shouldn't be eating it. It's still. I mean, there's other ideas of not being. There are cholkim. If a person can avoid it, obviously it's probably better. But there's bikaron. There's no isser. Ve'ein moisim lahem tinaik l'lamda sefer or l'lamda umnos the moshchel leminus, and you should not give over. Now the pashup a kid to teach them to teach them or to teach them and like an apprenticeship, because they're going to bring them to minus. They're going to bring them to kfira or to shmad or whatever it is, and that's an issue. Again, what does it apply to nowadays? Obviously, especially sending him to school, sending him to public school and things like that is definitely going to be moshech. There are people who think, well, I know there were people, I don't know, whatever, and you send half day, and you send that, I don't know, these things, these things don't, they aren't, they're not recommended. Kol shekain, giving them over to all the chachamim out in social media could probably be over the sister also, because also they'd be nice for him to be taught all bunch of shtus and a bunch of even worse than that. The Taz, the place here, the Taz says the Gemara adds one more thing saying that the Shulchan Aruch left out is the moshech them to bishkol zachor. That the moshech to bishkol zachor. So the person can say nowadays we're not choishish for it. It's a Gemara and it's a Shulchan Aruch passage in Even Ezer, nowadays, meaning at the time when Shulchan Aruch was written, time of the Rishonim. However, nowadays, sending your kids to secular schools, they are moshech them to Mishkav Zachor. They mess their heads up. I mean, with all sorts of problems, making them, Mishkav Zachor, Kipshuto. Or you are a guy, you're a man, you're a girl. I don't know, kipshuto. So, yeah. It's or even without that, messing up their minds. Choshish for molestation and all these types of things, right? The Moshech and the Mishkav Zachor is straight. The Gemara says you're choshish, they're going to go ahead and molest them. So, and there's what to talk about. In Ibn Ezra discuss, here's talking about, talking about, if they chavim, but, anyone you could have a chash for, fortunately you have cases, but it's not for derech klal, but in the schools nowadays, I don't know. Beis, lo yisyached Yisrael of the kachavim neishem chshudim al shvichas damim. Don't miyached Yisrael with of the kachavim because they're choshed al shvichas damim, which is the shayla now. Again, nowadays, is it true or not? And if it's a possibility, then yeah, you should be careful. If you're choshish that you're going to go into, yuchud with a potential terrorist, which the Kanyevsky said that you have to be choshish for that any Arab in the street might be a rodef because he might decide to snap or might be hunting you or I don't know what So then you should be choshish for yichud.
You said if you're concerned about it,
Okay, it's straight halacha, but the poskim say that nowadays, meaning throughout the Rishonim, that whatever. I mean, Rishonim could be, but nowadays you're not choshish. In normal places, you're not choshish. You go through New York City, that unless you go to certain bad areas, okay, whatever. But in general, you're not choshish for this thing. Gimel in nizdamin lo b'derech ovik kachovim. Chag or Saif, if you happen to be walking down the street and he's wearing a sword, Tofel Yamino, he should go to his right side because in case he pulls out a sword, he can't he can't go to a good swing. Tofel Smalo, if he has a makel, because a sword is put on the opposite side, so they can go ahead and pull it out easy. But a stick is just in the straight side, so you should go to the other side. If they're going up a hill or whatever, or stairs, or Yoreh b'Yerida, Yisrael lamata. He shouldn't be in lamata, because maybe he'll kick him down. But still, it's better to be by the right side more. Lo yishche lefanav olam, and you should never ever bow down in front of him like we have by Yoav and Avner and Yoav. Don't, because it could be dangerous. Again, this is when they used to have swords. Nowadays, if you're choshish, they have guns. I don't know. Sha'al lo leheichen ata holech. He asked him, "Where are you going to?" Ima yitzarich leilech parsa yomer shtei parsos and holech, like it says by Yaakov and Esav. That if he's asked where is he going, and this is also good. It's a Gemara. Medrash says that the Amar Tana told him, yeah, I'm going there, and they waited for there, and they all waited for him there to attack him, and he got out of it. So that's what you should do. Aga b'makom shenago leilech b'merchatz, in a place where they can go ahead and in a place where they go to the bathhouse without wearing pants. And they go without clothes. Also, it's also to go to that merchatz where Ovi Kachavim is bathing, arumim, naked. But if Yisrael is in the merchatz already, then he doesn't have to leave. Now, the basis of this is Pirkei Eliezer. And the Pirkei Eliezer seems to be mashma, and so the Shach goes with that it's talking about Tuma and Tahira. Ramah, Darkei Moshe says, I don't really understand what we don't do Tuma and Tahira nowadays. So he says, so he says we're talking about. So it used to be that people would wear bathing suits. They go to the bathhouse and wouldn't walk around naked. And the Taz pushes this, and he says, for him, the Taz says, Dvarim pshutim, that if it's Gilui Erva, that people walking around naked, that it's also to go ahead and be there, because you people will look, and it's Gorem Hirhur. It's Gorem Hirhur. People, it's something that the Taz says in Even Ezer also, that people don't realize. People walk around, I don't know, listen, the minig and mikvahs l'char is to be makel, but...
It's here by the God, that's not the Shash.
Hirhur of the Jew.
Of the Jew. So what's the difference between going?
There isn't a difference. The Taz says it's all completely also Jew or Goy. People are walking around naked. He says it's a person has to be choishish for hirhur, and it's also unfortunately.
But the assumption is that the Jew is not walking around naked.
Right, or if he is, they're both naked. Or if they're both naked, it's a problem. According to the Taz, the person goes to mikveh, he should cover himself up until he gets into the mikveh. Or he said Zman Rishonim they did it because they weren't mistakel. They were nizar lo mistakel. But now he says that. So if you read that carefully, people read it wrong. It says it says only when he goes into the river, then he should unclothe himself. But when he walks out of the river, he should cover himself. He shouldn't be begoloi because it's sneeze. The only thing it says is that a person, when he's he's going with his back turned, then he shouldn't go ahead. He shouldn't be embarrassed. But it says he should cover himself when he comes out. It says it. Look it up. It says it pretty straight. People make a mistake and people try to, you're embarrassed, whatever. I don't know, but the Taz is pretty clear. They're choking on the Taz. They say nowadays we're not choshish for Mishkal Zachar, so therefore it's okay. Nowadays, meaning.
Told me that you go in with there's no reason not. You should go in with your underwear, with boxers.
This is based on the Taz.
Baba Sali is well known. He's never on.
This is based on the Taz. It's based on the Taz. It's whatever. And unfortunately, the Shilohs unfortunately there have been problems. There have been problems nowadays. Now there's such a ruach of everything. There's taivas and I don't know what. There've been issues. It's I'll tell you to go into the mikveh with bathing suit. I don't know, but nowadays people have to be more choshish. This is the Taz. People have to be more choshish than they are. The Taz and the Ramah. Dalet, just do Dalet. Lo Yisrael is the Ovi Kochavim. Yisrael should not be Misyachim with the Ovi Kochavim. Machoike feel him Rabbi with the Shosei Mimayim. Pashas of the Mechaber is because of the Chash of Ritzicha. But the Achronim say the Pashas of the Gemara seems to be the problem is of Yichud like in Yichud in Even Ezer, and that since Goyim are Prutzim, so even if their wives are with them, but nowadays if their wives are with them, we're not Choshesh anymore, and it's okay. But Prutzim, even Rabbim, they have to be Choshesh. Rabbim doesn't mean you walk into the street in Manhattan, you have to be worried. Rabbi means you have 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever, in a closed room that there's what to be choshish for. Rabbi doesn't mean you walk into a square, public square. But Akol Panim, and that's to choshish for tzricha. Okay, that's totally whatever. But Akol Panim, that's what seems to come out. We'll stop here.